Texas House. With the latest round of President Trump's tariffs preparing to go into effect later this week, some businesses warn their cost for American customers could go up in the coming months. ABC Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis has more.
Procter & Gamble just last week raised its prices this month. Best Buy, Walmart, Dollar General, and Mattel have been talking about price increases, some echoing Walmart, which said the prices of imported items could go up, but they would keep prices, quote, as low as we can. They know that customers want to see lower prices.
White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett defending Trump's decision to fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics following a weak jobs report, told NBC's Meet the Press we need a fresh set of eyes at the Bureau. Amid that shakeup atop the Bureau of Labor Statistics, new data indicates Wisconsin's unemployment rate has dipped slightly. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports the rate was at 3.2% in June, down a tenth of a percent from May. Meanwhile, 5 Wisconsin businesses disclosed layoff plans in July, affecting 170 workers. Winds of change are blowing through Harley-Davidson.
Artie Starrs has been named the next president and CEO of the Milwaukee-based motorcycle manufacturer effective October 1st. Starrs joins the company after leading Topgolf since 2021. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen on Wisconsin's Morning News says Starrs is the second consecutive Harley CEO without experience in the motorcycle industry.
But does that translate? Harley is such a unique situation.
Outgoing CEO Jochen Zeitz will remain in an advisory role with the company until next February. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A local law firm is breaking ground with the first high school name, image, and likeness partnership in Wisconsin.
The first high school NIL deal in Wisconsin didn't go to a quarterback or a point guard. It went to a lacrosse star, thanks to Milwaukee attorney Ido Walney.
I think everybody thought that the first NIL deal in Wisconsin was going to be a boys basketball or a boys football player. We decided to go in a different direction.
Walney, founder of Walney Legal Group.
Darcy is now a 3-time All-American heading into her senior year. We felt that her reach in terms of name recognition and spread gave us a lot of high upside.
Walney says the deal shines a light on women's sports and proves small firms can make a big impact. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 492 points. NASDAQ up 312. S&P 500 up 75. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit Froedtert.com/cancer.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers completed a road series sweep. Milwaukee blew out the Nationals 14-3 to win its sixth game of its last 7. Brewers continue their road trip tonight against the Braves. Green Bay will open its exhibition schedule Saturday at home against the Jets. Coach Matt LaFleur said Saturday tight end Tucker Kraft being given some time off due to a groin injury. Kraft caught 50 passes for 707 yards, 7 touchdowns last season. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Highway 175 south at 94 east. There were some lanes closed due to debris. It looks like that has been cleared off. Slow and go 94 eastbound from Highway 16 to the Zoo interchange. Also 41 south from Highway Q to the Zoo. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. That air quality alert in effect until noon today for all of southeast Wisconsin. It could be extended. We'll let you know. Lingering haze and smoke, mostly sunny with a high 78. Smoke still lingering this evening, partly cloudy, low 66 lakeside, 60 inland. Sunny, warm, more humid tomorrow, a high of 80. Sunny on Wednesday, a high of 82. And then Thursday and Friday, sunshine, warm and humid. High Thursday, 85. Friday's high, 88. 67 in Madison. 72 in Green Bay and Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studios for the Wisconsin State Fair. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bryan.
Oh, you're going to turn my mic on? There we go.
I'm trying to make my mic work. Everything. Right out of the gate, this mic problem. All right. We're live.
We're here. We're at the State Fair.
5-9 studio is where we're at, right across from the brand new revamped dairy building where you can get those cream puffs, now chocolate, now strawberry apparently, and vanilla, which I have not had one yet at the fair. Have you? You're in a big contest this week.
On Thursday, yeah.
All right. Enough of the small talk. We're going to get right to it. We have two legends in local journalism. That's not funny. Did you smirk? No. Dan Bice.
I smirked.
Bill Glauber, now retired journalist, now semi-pro golfer, and Dan Bice, who does great work still for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Welcome to the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah. Bill's already golfed today, which is sort of an amazing.
Which is incredible.
I'm up at 5. What else am I going to do?
You golf every day?
Old man hours, right?
Old man hours.
Yeah, you can't stop that.
No. It's old
Nor
man
should
hours.
you.
It happens.
That's not true, though. He'll be texting me at 11 o'clock at night.
So he stays up late, too. That's
sometimes. It depends. It depends.
All right, let's get to it. We have a governor's race next year. It's looking pretty exciting. Both parties wide open now. You were talking about some, maybe Dan Bice, maybe some new names throwing their name in the hat.
Yeah, right. I mentioned that we've given a lot of names, and then one I just heard recently was Missy Hughes from the Wisconsin Economic Development Commission. There are a lot of names right now. There are 2 people on each side who appear to definitely be in. The ones being Rodriguez and Crowley appear to be in.
Sarah
on
Rodriguez,
side.
David Crowley,
Crowley's going to go. He'll go. He's just waiting.
He basically had an announcement to announce, right?
The person with the most name ID on the Democratic side has been making no noise whatsoever, and that's Josh Call. And so people are wondering what's going on with that. I mean, the day he gets in the race, he'll be the front runner on that side. And if it plays out like it did in 2018, the person with the best name ID ended up winning the primary, even though the other candidates spend a fair bit of money.
Why do you think that's an automatic that he'd be the front runner?
He's run statewide.
I know that, but
guy with the most votes statewide twice.
In a previous race. This is a different race.
I think they're actually, if the other person who has statewide name ID is Mandela Barnes, and I think Mandela is not going to run. I think it's highly unlikely he runs if Josh runs. I think the party would like to have somebody who's run statewide before on the ballot. And so the funny thing is Mandela had told me earlier that he had no interest, but now he says I'm not a no.
What do you think changed for him that he would be not a no? Because I would say the same thing as far as him not being interested in this job versus another Senate race.
I don't know this, but I believe probably people with the party when looked at the list of candidates and thought we need some people who have statewide name ID on there, because people like to vote for people they voted for before. They don't want to vote for someone that they don't feel like they're comfortable with or they have no idea. So I think that's the thing, that he was probably pushed to do that. He's clearly not completely in, or he would have said, I'm interested in this. I'm looking at to send out the statement to several people saying I'm not a no is. I'm thinking about it, but the one thing that he has going for him is he still had, I think, $600,000 in the bank from his last from his Senate race, and you can transfer some of that to the state race. But there's nobody in the race right now on the Democratic side who has a whole lot of money. You have one candidate on the Republican side, and Bill Berrien. I don't know how much money he has. I haven't asked for and gotten his taxes. So, in terms of these things, I usually think, okay, there's Ron Johnson who's this wealthy, and then you see Tim Michels who's a little more wealthy based on his taxes, and then you have then you have Hovde who's even ahead of him. I don't know where on that scale Bill Berrien is. But the most important thing on the Republican side is not the candidates and how much money they have. It's where do Dick and Liz Elon spend their money, because they can spend unlimited money on the race. In the last governor's race, though, she backed one candidate and he backed another, and so it became a wash. But I think this time they'll go behind a candidate. And right now I would guess it's Tom Tiffany. He hasn't gotten in the race yet, but I think if he does, I think the Elines and Diane Hendricks from Beloit, the billionaires in the state, will get behind him.
It's interesting. What has Cole done to lay the groundwork for a governor's race? He hasn't traveled the state. He hasn't worked it like Jim Doyle did. What has he done to lay the groundwork to run for that higher office?
And that's why I've said several times that he would be the front runner, but he's been underwhelming politically in the last in his time in office. He for somebody running for a statewide office, he probably should have been to every county over the last couple of years. There should be a couple of issues that you should immediately identify him with, and right now I can think of 2 issues, and that's it. And they're not huge issues, and they'll like the fake voter thing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It feels like something that there's from the left, at least, there's an obvious critique of how slow he has been on some of the charges that I would say
the funny thing
Democrats wanted him to move on.
I look back recently to what I wrote about him before he ran when he was running for AG, and I said the exact same thing. This guy doesn't seem to understand politics. He's not doing the things you would think that he would need to do. But he did the one thing that he needed to do, and that was to get a few more votes than his opponent. And so right now, I think more people know who he is than they know who David Crowley is. And so that gives him a leg up in a race like this.
You mentioned Tom Tiffany, congressman, northern part of Wisconsin, Wausau North, basically. Is he all but in, do you think? Given what you've read and talked about.
He's in. I mean, there's got to be something major that happens. The thing on him is he also doesn't have statewide name ID. If you have people like the Elines behind you, though, you can buy that. And his name ID is no better, no worse than the other 2 candidates who are already in it, Josh and Bill Berrien. People don't know who those people are.
One person we haven't talked about who actually is out of the gate and out of the gate strong is Sarah Rodriguez.
Lieutenant Governor of the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, she had a good ad. They did make a mistake by uploading it 7 days before the governor.
But isn't the fact that didn't Governor Evers' video get uploaded 7 days before as well?
But she's been looking at it for a while, and she's not the only one. Other people were looking at it, and it wasn't unreasonable to think that he might not run again. And I think as soon as the poll came out saying the majority of Wisconsin people did not want him to run again, he was in deep trouble.
That is Dan Bice, still working at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Bill Glauber, now retired, longtime, 40-plus years, great journalist. Kristen Bry, Steve Scaffidi. It is Point Taken. It's a Monday of the fair. We're broadcasting live from the Bank 59 studios. After the break, Dan Bice wrote an interesting piece about Mr. Donovan, Bob Donovan, and where does this guy live? We'll discuss with the gentleman after this on 620 WTMJ.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 19th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in August 19th at 7:05 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi for Avon. I had snoring issues, tossing and turning, restless nights of sleep. That does not have to be your sleep reality or your life reality. Do something about it like I did 5 years ago. I walked into Avon, 30-minute visit, talked to their docs. They put me at ease. We did a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed. Turns out, breathing problem, sinuses, nasal passages, very common. Now, everybody's different problems, different solutions. For me, a short procedure done in one of their offices, breathing better than ever. 5 years running, I don't snore anymore. Ask my wife, Kathy Vasir, at the State Fair Park how she feels about that one. We both sleep through the whole night. If you struggle like I used to, take the time to see how Advent can help you. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com. Schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
Hi, I'm Rashi Arora Khosla, CEO of Mars Solutions Group, a local staffing company. From our Fourth Planet platform to our returnship program, our Martians are building communities and talent pipelines that move the whole region forward. We didn't just move to downtown Milwaukee, we have relaunched here.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
All right, just couldn't hear the studio back there. So we are at broadcasting live from the Bank 5 Down studios at Wisconsin State Fair. Dan Bice, longtime journalist. Bill Glauber, now retired longtime journalist. Kristen Bry, of course. Steve Scafidi. And you wrote an interesting piece, was it last week or the week before?
Last week.
Bob Donovan, he's a state rep.
Right.
What's his district is what exactly?
It's in Greenfield. He's got the eastern side of the city of Greenfield. I mean, obviously he used to be Milwaukee. He ran for mayor twice. And lost for mayor twice. He won. He got through the primary, but then lost in the primary. But he had a house in Milwaukee, and then his dad had a house in Greenfield, and his dad passed away and gave it to them. So he had houses in both places. And then when he lost for mayor the second time, he decided he wasn't getting very far in Milwaukee, so he ran for rep in Greenfield, barely won, and then they redrew the lines. And so he kept a house in his old district and got an apartment in his new district. And so I was interested when he filed the reports, I wanted to see first where he voted. And his wife voted in the old district. He voted in his new district.
Interesting.
And then somebody pointed out to me that he was paying himself $850 a month for, it said, staff lodging, but there was no staff. He had no campaign staff, so I was wondering what was going on. So I called him, I emailed him, and I went to both residences. He was not at either one. And then I just wrote, I was getting ready to write that he was paying himself, $9,000 a year which would probably cover most of the apartment cost. Then out of the blue, he refiled his report and returned most of the money, not all of it. And he also made a mistake. He didn't increase the amount that was in his campaign account. So it's not clear if he just kept the money and decided, I'm going to refile this, or what exactly he did with the money.
So who represents his old district now? But he wouldn't have run in the district he was drawn into.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I should know that. But it's 6 miles. I drove between the two. I went to one and then I went to the other. It's 6 miles between the two places. Actually, his new district is to the west, and his old one is to the east in Greenfield. They're both in Greenfield.
Okay.
Bill, you know this term, carpetbagger. Does that apply?
I don't think it applies. I think finagler does.
Or double dipper.
And I mean, What would we do without Bob Donovan? There are
goodness.
characters in politics, and then there's Bob Donovan. You know, I remember interviewing him in a bar, you know, his favorite tavern, and you know, he smokes, he drinks.
So one of the advantages is that he hasn't talked to me since 2016 when I did this interview with him. He was getting endorsed by the Milwaukee Police Association, and I wanted to ask him about this incident a number of years earlier when he had this peephole incident. He was went to a bathroom at UWM and for 10 minutes watched the guy through a hole in the stall next to him. And we went back and forth for, I think, an hour, and I wrote about it. And then he went to two other news outlets to dispute what I wrote, but he hasn't talked to many people at the Journal Sentinel. He walked out of an editorial board meeting because of that. But the fact is, it's true. There's a citation, which I read to him, that existed at the time, and I still have
Politicians always like having citations.
Especially this one.
And then he had some other problems with a nonprofit that he ran, and he just doesn't like that sort of scrutiny. You know, it's a tough thing. And he changed his cell phone number, so people who he did get along with now can't reach him.
On the finance part, any of that illegal?
I thought it was highly questionable because it wasn't clear who he was paying and for what. You could only make certain judgments about it, but I don't think it's the idea that it's intended for you to take campaign money to buy yourself a residence inside your district. That's not the way it should be. But a lot of people think you can spend campaign money on anything. The state has allowed people to buy a pickup truck, computers, all sorts of stuff, saying that stuff is political.
But here's the thing. So going into next year, I'm assuming that he's going to run again. Do you think this is because you said there was a fair amount of traction on the article that you wrote last week.
Yeah.
Do you think it's enough traction where people who voted for him in 2024 wouldn't vote for him over this issue in 2026?
I think there's enough time this time that whoever runs against him is going to use this.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference. I'm not writing it in the middle of an election. You know, this is the first 6 months after his last election, but it'll be an issue next time.
Real quick before the break, who's responsible for the enforcement of those rules when it comes to stuff like this?
That would be the State Elections Commission. But he returned the money. He returned most of it. He screwed up.
Well, most of it is not the same as all of it. That's my.
I think it was a mistake. I think he didn't realize that he paid himself in December of last year, and he ran through his new report.
I made a mistake. I forgot to pay my taxes. Doesn't let me off the hook for not paying my taxes.
He returned. I'm right about this. He returned the money after your repeated calls.
Yes.
To him.
But he didn't return his first payment because it was last year in December. So he still has that on the books.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, it's questionable whether it's illegal or not.
All right. Good answer. All right. Bank 59 Studios is where we're at the Wisconsin State Fair. Come on out. Other than the haze from those damn Canadian wildfires, which is it going to rain in Canada at some point? We're going to get rid of this haze and smoke every day? My eyes are killing me.
It creates a beautiful sunrise
and sunset.
Says the guy who already golfed this morning.
So the guy who doesn't have to wake up early or do it, although he does. All right, Bill Glauber, Dan Bice, great journalism on display, full display as always. Kristen Bryce, Steve Scaffidi, point taken on 620 WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi. How about this, QC Kinetics? I had an elbow issue. I think it was a tear, but it's sort of a tennis elbow, and I had to do something about it. I've had a lot of surgeries on my elbows and my knees and all that stuff. I wanted a different option, and I talked to the pros at QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli, and they walked through a treatment that would actually use my own body to heal myself. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, none of the gimmicky stuff, just long-term relief, no dreaded recovery time. You can even bring your x-rays and your MRIs if you want them to review them to kind of see where you're at, get a fresh look, see if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Best case, you get your life back. And my elbow, after 2 treatments, already feels better. 3 more this summer. I'll be back. I got better flexibility. I don't even play tennis anymore, but it's still something you want to get addressed. All right, grab the phone right now. Don't wait. Call them right now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics. Change your life. Fix your pain. That's where you do it.
Monsters hairball, googly eyes. Looks like Clogzilla is back in your sink.
Not again. This always happens when I shave my back hair. Hello, Clogzilla.
Have no fear. There's a drain hero here. Just call the pros at Capital when things get hairy.
Need help defeating the beast beneath your sink? Call Capital for our best drain clearing offer ever. For only $49, we'll unclog your drain.
Old-fashioned service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him real good.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Step right up and gaze into my crystal ball. I see flashing lights, spinning reels, and a big win. This August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival at Potawatomi. Play with your rewards card and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
At the Wisconsin Fair. It's already busy out here on this Monday. Monday's typically a slow day. Maybe they heard Dan Weiss and Bill Glauber were going to be in studio on the Fishbowl here, which is not what we call it anymore, but I do because it's got a long legacy. Jonathan Green and Charlie Sykes and Jeff Wagner, all those guys. Long legacy here, and it's this is my favorite event of the. I don't know how you feel about it. I love
the State Fair. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, are we doing stuff after the show today? What are we?
I found the lumpia stand.
I saw the line for the lumpia.
Yeah, so we can go get. We already tried. We're trying all the Sporky winners.
There was a line before the place opened.
No, it's nuts.
I tell you what I know this studio for. I covered the Mark Newman, Scott Walker debate that was in this studio and was standing outside.
Oh, wow.
And it's the last time I got a bee sting.
Oh, really?
That's what I remember, being out there.
What I remember is Charlie was stuck on this thing about privacy, so I did a background check on him, and I brought it in before I was supposed to speak with him, and so I gave it to him and said, "This is what I know about you." It ended up being the first chapter of his book.
Oh, that's cool.
And he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me this, that he was going to use it in a book, and it has to appear ominous or something. I wasn't writing anything about it. I was just saying, look, this is the sort of information that's available on you. And in the book, it's like I came up to him, and I was going to do some sort of story on him.
So here's the question: the age of the internet. Like, I now get ads for people who are trying to wipe themselves off of the internet and get things deleted because there's so much information about any of us out there, especially people who put themselves out there. Like,
right.
Is it easier to do your job now as far as finding some of these stories? And like you said, back then you could find a privacy or get a report, but is it easier now?
I was thinking about this recently when writing about Hannah Dugan, because I was writing about how much money she was raising in her defense fund, and I was wondering how much money does she have. So I thought, well, I don't know where she lives, what her assets are, or anything like that. Unfortunately, it was super easy to find out all of the details of her life. Her second mortgage on her house, all of that sort of stuff was easily available, even though. There's been this problem with people delivering fake pizzas to judges' houses.
Yeah. Not just a problem, dangerous.
Yeah, and so I thought judges are locking down on this stuff and it wouldn't be available, but it was not hard to find.
And that you attribute that to the internet and just how easy it is to find stuff now?
I think it's not just the internet, it's databases. Your name is on so many different databases, and on the internet they can collect it all together and give it to you.
That voice is Dan Weiss, veteran journalist, multi-journal Sentinel. Bill Glauber, now retired, but done a lot of great work over his long career. Now a semi-pro golfer in the Milwaukee area. Kristen and I, we're going to be here for the next hour and a half. We got lots of stuff to talk about. We have some special guests coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, I think, including a local mayor, which I'm excited about. Connie Weber, local news. Before we get to any of that, here's now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is threatening to kick state Democrats out of the legislature if they don't return and vote this afternoon on the new redistricting that will likely hand the Republicans 5 extra seats in Congress. State Representative Mahela Plesa is one of the lawmakers who went to New York overnight rather than vote on it.
The fight isn't just about lines on a map. It's about lives on the line. That's why we're here. That's why we're fighting. It's about democracy.
Other Texas Democrats went to Illinois. Thousands of workers at 3 Midwest manufacturing plants where Boeing makes military aircraft are now off the job. They went on strike, rejecting the company's 4-year offer. 2 people killed, total of 8 shot at a music festival after party in Los Angeles. Trains have been canceled, parks closed as a potentially dangerous windstorm moves through northern Britain. All of it happening amid the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, one of Scotland's largest tourist attractions. This is ABC News.
Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. One person dead after a shooting overnight on Milwaukee's far north side. 28-year-old victim died at a hospital after the shooting near Teutonia Green Tree. Nobody in custody. Deadly motorcycle crash in Little Chute. Outagamie County Sheriff's Office responded to I-41 near Holland Road just before 10:30 p.m. Saturday, where a motorcycle crashed into the median barrier wall. Motorcyclist died at the scene. Traffic calming construction begins on another downtown Milwaukee street this morning. The stretch of Michigan Street between 10th and Water will receive concrete bump outs and protected bike lanes, with lanes also reduced each way. Two-way traffic will be maintained through the project. No parking will be allowed along the street. Work is expected to wrap up by the end of the year. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 472 points, 44,061. The Nasdaq is up 311 at 20,963. The S&P 500 is up 71 points at 6,309. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver. Traffic. A disabled vehicle on the exit to County Road G from I-94 East. Slow and go. I-94 East from Highway 16 to the Zoo Interchange and 43 southbound from Brown Deer Road to downtown. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. That air quality alert until at least noon today for all of southeast Wisconsin. Due to that lingering haze and smoke, it will be sunny with a high 78. Overnight lows tonight, 66 lakeside, 60 inland. Sunny, warmer, more humid tomorrow, a high of 80. Sunny Wednesday with a high of 82. Thursday and Friday, sunshine, warm and humid conditions with a high Thursday 85. Friday's high 88. 70 in Madison, 74 in Green Bay, 73 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Even though Milwaukee used to be your home,
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
we're about to make Atlanta ours. It's the Brewers and the Braves in Atlanta.
Fly ball center field. That is going to do it and then some. Perkins walks it off against the Marlins, and the Brewers beat Miami 3-2.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:40. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Having some fun at the fair. Kristen Bry was always fun.
Sure.
She had a great weekend. You look rested and refreshed.
Do I?
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Did you get...
Well, it's one of those things where when you don't work on the weekend, Mondays always a little hectic.
And you unplugged, right?
I did.
Yeah, see, that's I did that. I did a little work Saturday and unplugged for the rest of the weekend. I had 2 stiff drinks last night after a wonderful family reunion. Bill Glauber here, Dan Bice. I mean, I'm biased because I like you guys. You're as good as it gets when it comes to local journalism, and actually you're well beyond that because you guys get picked up nationally now for stuff that you report. So thanks for being here.
The two of us worked together for more than 10 years.
And you are friends, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I'll ask that, Dan, since we just asked before if the internet's made your job easier. Is your job harder now that Bill's retired?
To tell you the truth, it's not much different. We talk every day, but it is a little bit different because we work together on stories covering campaigns. I knew what he was going to write. He knew what I was going to write. And though it's different now, we're learning to deal with that sort of thing.
How much of like the classic movie All the President's Men, right? Is that the one with Woodward and Bernstein and all that stuff? How much of that is real about the camaraderie and the working together of journalists? Is that like a real thing in the newsroom?
I think it depends on who the person is. There are some people like Kerry Spivak. I wrote with him every day for almost 10 years. We don't talk every day. We're good friends. Actually, when he was leaving, it was really hard for me because we've worked together for so long. But it doesn't mean that I spend all of my off hours talking with him. No.
Safe distance. Now,
newsrooms are great places, or they used to be great places, where a lot of exchange of ideas, a lot of banter, and I always liked working in a newsroom.
There's an energy in the newsroom that's been lost as a result of 2 things. 1, the cuts, and then 2, because a lot of particularly younger reporters like to work from home. So even on election night, it doesn't buzz like 15 years ago. Election night was like a great time to be part of it, to be writing, to be involved, and getting the numbers and all of that. That was really fun.
Election night 2016 was stupendous.
Oh yeah.
I was on air when Pennsylvania came in, and I was talking about what a Clinton presidency would look like. Oh. I was on with Craig Gilbert, and that comes in, and I'm like, whoa.
Another great journalist. All right, big story Friday. I'm going to get this name right. Erica McIntarfer, not McInfarter, as somebody said on the news the other day. Fired. She led the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Trump fired her basically because he didn't like the numbers, even though the numbers have been good for him and bad for him. He was really irritated at the fact that Biden on his way out got some really good jobs numbers. I guess from a journalist perspective, if we're just going to start firing people, how is this story going to be covered? This seems to me insane that we are now at a point where a president, one person, can make command decisions for every agency, every piece of our government in a way that I'm not comfortable with. You can tackle this in any way you can from a journalist perspective that you would like to. Who wants to go first?
Well, I mean, the New York Times attacked it by saying it was another part of authoritarianism.
Yeah.
You can't trust the numbers. I mean, what happens when we go into the Trump recession? Do they play with the numbers? And, he went after newspapers, TV stations, law firms, colleges, now the BLS. I mean, it's a complete usurping of power, unlike anything we've seen in at least the last century.
And I guess for me, the import of this is we're talking about serious things. These numbers mean something. It illustrates what is happening in U.S. manufacturing and the jobs market and the economy. And if we're just going to fudge the numbers to make everything look like seashells and blues or sunshine and roses, whatever term you want to use, how are we supposed to know what the hell's going on in this country?
He lied about losing the 2020 election, so you start there and move forward. What's changed?
You want to jump in, Dan?
No, I mean, I agree. He attacks any institution that he doesn't like, and so that's what we're going with. And my question is this a one-off with the current president, or do you think he's setting a standard that others will use in terms of establishing a stronger chief executive?
So you mean as far as who becomes president next? This
right.
is
from
just
now on,
this is the new normal.
Is this the new normal that from now on, if you don't like a particular statistic or what someone does, it doesn't have to be the Bureau of Labor. It could be any number of things. Is someone just going to go ahead and attack? Are people comfortable with this or not?
I said this on Friday. He is running the Oval Office like it's the boardroom of a Celebrity Apprentice. You're fired. You're fired. He makes stuff up. This stuff is serious and important when it comes to the interest rates. I asked this question, I think, of our friend and partner Dave Spano a couple of weeks ago. If he fires Jerome Powell and puts his guy in, are we just going to cut the interest rates to 2% just to make him feel better? And how realistic is that?
Yeah, but then there's going to be an impact on the
Of course there is, but he doesn't seem to care.
So is it when it's something like this, so the Bureau of Labor Statistics and whoever's in there next, is there any amount of reporting and access to those numbers that can fact check what the numbers the new numbers for the next person who's in charge and when those get released? In the effort to try to trust them, is there access to those numbers from reporters to be able to know that they're true?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
There are private estimates that people will be relying on, I think. And, it's the numbers have been there for a century. Part of the bedrock of the American financial system is you can generally trust the numbers.
What do you think the White House response to those private numbers is going to be? 2 words. The second word is news. Fake
news.
Yeah. So then where are we at?
We're at what used to be known as the imperial presidency back when Nixon was in office, and the people were pushing against the imperial presidency, and then there was the rise of Congress. Congress has done nothing to stop what's going on.
This is the wink, wink, nod, nod generation of Congress. All right, lots more to get to with Dan Bice, Bill Glauber, veteran journalist in Milwaukee and beyond. Kristen Bryce, Steve Scafidi, point taken from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair. Come out and join us. Come out and say hi. Beautiful day at the fair. Lots more to come after this.
People ask questions. Why is the sky blue? What's the meaning of life? Why can't I eat candy for breakfast?
But at Penny Mustard, most of the questions are about the penny sectional.
How can a sectional sofa look so majestic and feel so comfortable at the same time?
Can I get this in fabric or leather?
Can I eat candy for breakfast while sitting on the penny sectional? The penny sectional, starting at $62.45 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at ADAMM.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristen Bride. He is Steve Scafidi, and we are here with Bill Glauber and Dan Bice. And I want to ask a question as far as how journalism has changed. So obviously, well, the fun story about Bill and I is that Bill even before Steve, was the first person who found me when I first started As Goes Wisconsin.
I know, that was awesome.
Back in April 2020.
You were staying at your mom's house.
Yeah.
You discovered her before I did?
He did.
Yes.
How did I not know this?
Well, maybe you're not listening.
I guess.
But yes, Bill Glauber wrote an article about me back in 2020. And then fast forward to us becoming colleagues, because I've been now at Journal Sentinel since beginning of 2022 was when I officially was a part-time employee.
And a great addition.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so I go into the office about once a week, sometimes more. And so some of the things that we were talking about as far as what it looked like in 2016 in a newsroom, I have not gotten to experience. I've only gotten to experience the newsroom post-pandemic. And so I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what has changed. And so we're quickly kind of just talking about the numbers of people, not even just working remotely, but working in general, of what the numbers are now versus what they once were.
Yeah, at one point we had 300 people in the newsroom.
All reporters?
No, not all reporters. Okay. We had copy editors. We had a lot of copy editors. The copy editing's not frequently, but occasionally I get emails from people who say, how could you have let this misspelling in or something like that? And I just think it's amazing that we don't make more mistakes with how the numbers have been changing. And our headlines are frequently written by people in Iowa. And we had a headline last week that was not accurate on a story I wrote. I was upset about it, but there's no one in the newsroom to scream at because no one there did it. And so now we're between 90 and 100. So we're a third the staff that we used to be. But that's not it. We've had a number of buyouts, and buyouts, it's a systematic way of having more veteran people move on and hire younger people. So I gave a talk at the Rotary just recently where I estimated that probably 10, 12 years ago, the average age in the newsroom was probably 48 to 50. And today I would say it's 28 to 30. So there, and the newsroom used to be, the Journal Sentinel was very much a guy's place. Yeah. It was a bro place. But now there are way more women working. And I think there are consequences for this. And some good, some bad. One thing that's good, I think, is our focus on mental health. Mental health was not something you dealt with either as a reporter or not something you covered. And so that's something you'll notice a lot in the paper these days. I do think there's a less explanatory journalism. We used to have people who'd lived in the community for 30 years and they cared about stuff a whole lot. And so they would want to follow up and find out more about a situation that occurred.
So, Bill, 300 in sort of the heyday of when you guys were working together.
This was after the merger. So,
right.
I don't know what it was like before merger.
Okay. So, but now roughly 90?
Yeah.
Okay. Real life, real time. What's the you mentioned a headline problem. What's the real life impact of that, massive decline?
You can cover you can cover fewer things, and you have to concentrate on what you're covering and bring quality to the narrowness of what you're covering. You lack the depth, and I think that's what's really hurt journalism everywhere. In the local communities is a lack of depth. The covering the boring meetings where things happen that shouldn't happen.
I think it's both breadth and depth. I don't think we cover Waukesha the way we used to cover Waukesha. We used to have a whole team of people covering Waukesha. I think we have one now. And so that person can only do so much.
Well, because were you at the Milwaukee Press Club Awards this year?
I was not.
But did you hear about Jim Vandehey's speech? So, Wisconsin guy, I think I've talked about this on the air before. A lot of the journalists in the room that night were not thrilled because he talked a lot about the future of AI and how AI will supplement journalism.
Right.
And I guess for both of you, we were talking about an app earlier that transcribes interviews.
Right.
But is there an opportunity to backfill these meetings that we don't have, there's not the bodies to necessarily sit in, but at least you can put an AI recorder there so that there's record of what was said. Like, is there opportunity there, or is it only going to make things worse?
Or you're intentionally trying to reduce the staff right now, right? Thanks. We could cover everything that way.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why people were really bothered by what he said. And so it's like, it's happening no matter what, but are there things that can make newsrooms stronger
I'm sure
with
someone
technology?
I'm sure there are people trying right now to figure out ways to replace reporters with AI.
Why write without a voice? That's the thing about AI, which I would tell kids if they're in college. Why do something and still your voice? Writing is about your voice, your observations. And I believe that that's more important. There was an article in the Washington Post about how AI is being used for obituaries.
Yeah.
I find that appalling.
Yeah. Did you see the story in the State Journal where someone used AI?
Yeah.
I mean, so it can be used in a terrible, terrible way. But I don't think anybody could use AI to do what I do at the Journal-Sentinel. I do my own thing. No one else does anything like that in the state. And I don't think you could use AI to change or to duplicate what I'm doing.
There's a time and a place where it might be able to be used in a newsroom, but the voice.
Actually, we use it right. We use it right now. At the top of every story, we have 3 things that summarize the story. AI can do that for you if you want it to.
He's Dan Bice, Bill Glauber, Kristen Bryce. Steve's broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. Come out and say hi if you're out here. Otherwise, we'll wrap with the guys. Got a full hour after the top of the hour news for you kids. That's 11 o'clock. I always love to say that for the youngsters out there because they don't even look at time in the same way.
How many youngsters do you think listen to this show?
I hope a lot, because this, as I told Dan forcefully earlier, this is a difference maker when it comes to talk radio in Milwaukee, and I'll say it a million times.
And why?
We'll get to that.
One of our former colleagues.
Hey, we got to go to break.
Oh, okay.
Save it for the next segment. All right, let's go.
It's one of the hottest topics when it comes to finance and your money, the One Big Beautiful Bill. If you haven't read it, we don't blame you. It's 900 pages with 400 just for tax provisions. Not exactly light reading. You know who has read it? Annex Wealth Management. That's where Instant Insight webinars come in. They're designed to provide clarity for today's hot topics. Get up to speed fast. Check out the full Instant Insight schedule at annexwealth.com/events. Unbiased advice from a fee-only fiduciary. Find out more at annexwealth.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Over the years, we have helped many people fulfill their dream of owning their own business. Some stayed as mom-and-pop businesses, while others grew to have national reach. We worked with them to develop systems and procedures so their books were up to date in order to grow their business profitably, minimize taxes, and have less stress. Whether you are a brand new business with $25,000 in revenue or an established business doing $25 million in sales, we can help. We work with you to clean up your books and give you the information you need to know where your business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to more cash in your pocket and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlawns.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Rich Lawns.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, wrapping it up with Dan Weiss and Bill Glauber. One still working, one retired on his way. What are you doing the rest of your day out as a retiree?
I'm going to have a cream puff.
Which flavor do you go for?
Yeah, they got choices now. Chocolates and
He's a traditional guy.
Why would you ruin...
He's a traditional guy.
I said, Bill, I was a traditionalist, and then I had the chocolate, and it blew me away. So expand your mind. That's one of the biggest influences of my new partner.
So what's your thing on Thursday?
So I'm in the cream puff eating contest.
Yes. You're losing,
To whom?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter? You just think I'm going to come in last place?
You don't look like someone who eats a whole...
You don't know that.
But it's not how many you eat. It's how fast you eat it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, you're not the first person to say it. It's like, I don't think you can put away a lot of cream puffs.
How many hot dogs could you eat?
One of the local TV folks did a walk around and had people eat cream puffs. A lady ate one in 7 seconds. I mean, that is...
With hands?
With hands.
Okay.
Do you use hands?
There's no hands.
There's no hands,
so that's
so you
part
get
of the
it on your face.
So you're supposed to, be like a little piggy in a trough.
We're going to actually
Can Bill do this? Can you throw Bill in the mix?
Who?
Can you throw Glover?
How fast can you eat a cream puff?
No, not fast at all.
He would be angry for like 3 days.
He wants to eat it and enjoy it.
Yeah. How many hot dogs? The hot dog thing is always fascinating to me. What's the guy?
No, it's not.
What's the guy?
It's gross.
It's gross.
No, it's not gross.
I can't remember his name, and I've talked to him because he was out here for an event.
Not Kobayashi. It's
Joey.
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah,
I actually sat down next to him for 20 minutes. Not
what's
interviewing
gross
him.
is when they start.
Dude.
No, but when they start dipping the buns in the water.
Oh yeah.
That's when.
How many hot dogs could you eat in 10 minutes?
One. I would stop after one.
I could eat 10.
You could eat 10.
You could eat 10
in 10 minutes?
Do you mean you would like to, or if challenged?
I would eat one if I like, if just on the like, but I could eat 10 if I had 10 minutes because I like hot dogs. That's it.
I like that.
I might eat 10 in a decade.
That's why you're so thin and trim, Bill. All right, Glauber, always great to see you. Dan Bice, keep up the good work. We'll do it again. We love bringing you guys in the studio.
It's always fun.
We got a busy 11 o'clock hour.
Dave Spano,
our guy, talking about all the stuff that happened Friday and beyond. Kristen, Steve, Bank 5-9 Studios at the Wisconsin State Fair. Keep listening.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Don't miss another exhilarating water show. The 3rd annual Mercury Racing Midwest Challenge Boat Races in Sheboygan. Friday night is a downtown block party where you can see boats up close, enjoy live music, food, beverages, and then get ready for the races. Watch the races live Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the south shores of Lake Michigan behind Blue Harbor Resort. Boats, bites, and brews coincide at King Park. Sponsored by the City of Sheboygan and Three Sheeps Brewing. The Mercury Racing Midwest Challenge Boat Races, August 8th through the 10th.
When it's 94 degrees inside and you've melted to the couch.
And a dog has claimed the fridge.
And the ice cubes have melted themselves out of misery.
And you've started naming your sweat beads?
Then it's officially time to call Capital. We offer same-day air conditioning service 7 days a week.
And for a limited time, all our AC service calls are free when we make the repair.
Just call Capital. We'll bring back the brrr.
Old-fashioned service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
Sorry, Atlanta. We're here for real.
Fly ball, deep right, bye-bye baseball.
The Brewers head south to take on the Braves. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:40 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:01, we have 73 degrees and an air quality alert until noon today for all of southeast Wisconsin. It's going to be mostly sunny, but still that lingering haze and smoke in the air. High today 78. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Milwaukee leaders are planning ahead as Wisconsin reports its first measles cases of 2025.
While no measles cases have been confirmed in Milwaukee, 9 have been reported in Oconto County, all tied in out-of-state travel. Milwaukee Health Commissioner Dr. Michael Todoridis says the city is taking steps now to stay ahead, especially with kids heading back to school.
Most schools require students to have their vaccination records up to date. So part of our staff time is actually dedicated to working with those schools and parents to make sure that they have a plan.
Officials say now is the time for parents to check their child's vaccination status and take action before the school year begins. In Milwaukee, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
As we mentioned, too, that air that's lingering around southeast Wisconsin could be dangerous for those with respiratory problems. An air quality alert's been extended till noon Tuesday. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson.
The smoke will continue to circulate across the state throughout today and even into tomorrow as well. We still are going to have higher concentrations of smoke roll through the state. It won't probably be as bad as it was late last week, but still likely noticeable across most of the region.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in less than 10 minutes. The massive Gifford fire in Central California continues to elude containment. It's now grown to about 50,000 acres. CBS's Jason Allen reporting from nearby Santa Maria says it's likely that fire will consume even more acres today.
Conditions are expected to still be challenging today with the wind blowing in different directions. It changes throughout the day. I expect that we'll see some more growth as we get some more updates later this morning. And containment on this yesterday actually dropped from 5% down to 3%.
Democratic state lawmakers in Texas have left the state for New York and Illinois to stop today's vote on a new map that would add 5 new Republican districts before next year's midterm elections. Speaking from Albany, Texas State Representative Mihaela Plessa slammed her Republican counterparts for their redistricting plan, claiming they placed their power grab efforts over key issues facing Texans, including flood relief.
Today on the House floor, House Republicans did not want to put flood relief, disaster relief. They didn't want to do anything for the people of Texas. They're bending the knee to President Donald Trump.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says the runaway Democrats have till 3 p.m. today to be back on the job, or else he'll take steps to remove them from membership in the Texas House. Milwaukee's set to host the Young Republicans National Convention in August of 2027. The Young Republican Federation expects about 1,200 visitors and $1 million in economic activity. The announcement comes just over a year after Milwaukee hosted the 2024 Republican National Convention. The timing of Wisconsin's first high school name, image, and likeness deal wasn't on accident. It was strategic. Student lacrosse athlete Darcy Doyle, the first to receive an NIL deal in Wisconsin. Ido Walney, founder of Walney Legal Group, says when the WIAA made NIL legal, they moved quickly.
Come May, they were going to authorize NIL for high school athletes. I certainly recognized that there was an opportunity to try to be the first. I think I had some unique situational facts that I could line up to try to be ready for the date at which they were going to actually authorize those contracts.
Darcy Doyle, a 3-time All-American, heading into her senior year and will play for Northwestern next year. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow up 475 points. The Nasdaq up 356. The S&P 500 is up 79. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:05.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And you know, I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Oh boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mind Chef is family-owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity. You buy one, get one free. Buy two, get two free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza, and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA and Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers completed a road series sweep. Milwaukee blew out the Nationals 14-3 to win its sixth game of its last 7. Brewers continue their road trip tonight against the Braves. Packers have the day off ahead of their first preseason game. Green Bay will open its exhibition schedule Saturday at home against the New York Jets. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Highway 45 north to I-43 east, about a quarter of a mile beyond 45. Right shoulder there blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Still slow. I-94 eastbound, Highway 16 to the Zoo interchange, and 41 southbound, Highway Q to the Zoo. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Air quality alert now extended till noon tomorrow. Lingering haze and smoke today into the evening hours. High today 78. Low tonight 66. Lakeside to 60 inland. Sunny, warm, humid tomorrow. A high of 80. Sunny on Wednesday up to 82. Thursday and Friday sunny, warm, and humid with a high Thursday 85. Friday's high 88. 74 in Madison and Green Bay. 73 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bride.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken. We are broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. We're going to be here all week. Can't wait. Lots of food to eat. We're already deciding what we're going to get after today's show. But first, we have the very impressive Brian Jacobson, the chief economist from Annex Wealth Management, on the phone with us to make sense of this jobs report that came out on Friday and many other things happening in the economy. Welcome back to the show, Brian. Ooh.
Do we have Brian?
We have Brian?
Brian's not in here yet.
All right, Brian.
Okay, Brian is not here.
So you and I can talk about it. So the big
That's
story
my bad, guys.
Okay, no problem. We'll talk until Brian.
Okay.
All right. So, the big news Friday, of course, the president fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yes.
I said what I said in the first hour. This seems nuts to me. The president has actually had some good job numbers this year.
This is what I don't understand. So it turns out that the U.S. did not add 144,000 jobs in May, as the agency had estimated. It only added 19,000 jobs. And then in June, it only added 14,000 jobs. And so those numbers are obviously lower than what the U.S. needs to have to be able to keep up with population growth. And so I guess I don't understand what was happening with those numbers for May and June, and then the numbers that came out in July. And is that tied up in any justification for President Trump firing the person in charge of BLS?
I just think it's a risky venture. I understand the president was dismayed at the numbers. I get that. And every president wants his numbers or her numbers, if we ever have a woman president, to be as good as possible.
When we have, come on, Steve.
When we have a woman
faith.
president. And I think when we look at this stuff, it's sort of like, okay, can we get the politics out of everything? Can we just have a person?
You mean, can we get the politics out of anything?
Yeah, I guess that's the right way to put it. I think about this stuff, and it's just so upsetting to me. Look, I don't know this director she walked up to me, I would have no idea who she is.
Yeah.
Right? I'm guessing, though, she probably knew what she was doing. And these numbers, just as a layperson, not an economic expert, all right, let's bring a real expert in here so you and I can talk about this for hours and not get anywhere close to the expertise of Dr. Brian Jacobson, Chief Economist at Annex Wealth Management. Hi, Brian.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
We are wonderful. All right, so the big announcement Friday. I guess you don't have to make it political, but the idea that we're going to respond in this fashion to bad job numbers, good job numbers, where do you think the job numbers are actually at from your perspective?
Well, I think that we can actually triangulate where the numbers should be. And what the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported on Friday seems much more consistent with some of the patterns that we've seen over the past few months from ADP, the private payroll provider. We also have the Institute of Supply Management, National Federation of Independent Businesses, their various surveys that they do, which showed that there was a marked decline in job creation in May and June. So the back month revisions, they were very large, but it actually seemed like it was almost like kind of marking it more to where the other data was suggesting that it should be.
So you're saying, because there was that ADP number that seemed very inconsistent with the official number that came out. And so what causes that discrepancy from the numbers that we saw in May and June that were reported, and now looking back saying, oh, it was maybe only 19,000, maybe only 14,000. Like, is that the discrepancy that got this woman fired?
Well, I think that perhaps President Trump, he didn't like the numbers, so, shoot the messenger was kind of, I guess, the message from that. Because the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they do revisions periodically. And what we have noticed with the data, they revise that for responses that come to the surveys for the next couple of months. And so if you kind of think about who are the companies that would be first to reply to the surveys that are done, they're probably those that are fully staffed or those that are slightly larger and growing because they have the staff to actually respond to these surveys. The ones that trickle in then over the next couple of months, you would expect those are smaller businesses, those that maybe have cut the HR department a little bit, maybe they're not growing. So I think that we can look back and say that, yeah, it does make sense that those would be revised lower and that we would get closer to like the ADP number because they can actually respond or report on this in real time, because they actually have the data, whereas with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they're calling businesses, they're doing the faxes, the online surveys and the such. So they have to take a lot more effort in order to collate this data.
The faxes.
Yeah, they do actually still use fax machines to have people send in the responses to the paper surveys.
Wow.
Them and Blockbuster are still using fax machines, if there was a Blockbuster. Dr. Brian Jacobson, we're taking a break here. We've got lots more to ask and lots more to get to. And I'm curious, is there a direct cause and effect correlation between GDP gains and all of the job numbers? We'll get to some of that. And just generally looking at the economy from your perspective as somebody who spends a lot of time doing that every day. Dr. Brian Jacobson, Annex Wealth Management, our chief economist expert on Point Taken right here from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair. Steve and Kristen, hang on.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control and bring back your energy. Whether it's headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, time and repetition is key to staying on the right track. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for 2 years now. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiropractic uses a special tool that is targeted and effective, yet pain-free and gentle. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, and the new location on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com.
For senior living where comfort meets community, welcome to the Waters of Pewaukee, an experience designed with you in mind. Enjoy beautiful, spacious apartments, chef-prepared meals, and enriching daily activities that bring joy and purpose. Whether it's independent living, assisted care, or memory support, you'll find a compassionate staff, modern amenities, and the peace of mind you deserve at the Waters of Pewaukee. You're not just moving in, you're coming home. Schedule a tour and learn more today at thewaters.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavidi here to talk about my brand new show, WTMJ Outdoors. We love the outdoors in the great state of Wisconsin and beyond. We're going to talk with outdoors experts, bicycling, resort owners, rock climbers, hunting and fishing, camping, all things Wisconsin outdoors. Join us every Saturday, 2 to 3, right here on 620 WTMJ.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Welcome back to Point Taken. We are talking to Brian Jacobson, Chief Economist at Annex Wealth Management. All right, so Brian, last week we knew that there was a bunch of information that was coming out. We just talked about the jobs report, and as far as that being a lot less than expected. But there was also the GDP report where it was up versus the month prior. So how are you, to use your word, triangulating all the information that came out last week?
Well, I think that the big message from the data last week, and consistent with what we have seen from other sources over the last few weeks, is that the market back in April was pricing in a really weak jobs report for May and June that actually, after the fact, came to pass. You know, there was kind of that discrepancy between what the market was doing and then what the macroeconomic indicators were telling us. And now it makes a lot more sense, you know, thanks to hindsight here. And I think the key thing is that there is some private sector payroll strength. So it went from basically a gain of 3,000 in the month of June to something closer to 83,000 in the month of July. So a slight acceleration there. And then from the GDP numbers, we did peak with economic growth back in the third quarter of last year. So if you kind of think about the September, October, November period where growth was about 3.4% annualized, it downshifted, got down to as low as about 1.2% in the most recent report. So even though GDP number showed an acceleration to 3% growth, the private sector, as far as what was its economic output, it's continuing to kind of be in this low gear, slower gear, but maybe we'll see that start to accelerate as we get into the third quarter and fourth quarter.
Brian, with so much of the market news and the news in general is what have you done for me lately? But I just looked. NASDAQ, almost 7% up for the year. S&P, 6+. Dow, almost 2.5%. And a lot of other measures also looking very good. Is that, in your professional opinion, where this market should be, given all the numbers we've talked about?
You know, when we look at things as far as the fundamentals, right, so as far as the earnings growth, we went from 13% year-over-year earnings growth in the first quarter to something closer to about 6 to 7% now, which is not bad. It's not great. It's not as good as what it was, but it's still not bad. Then we get into the valuations. That's where, okay, the fundamentals are good, but what are you paying for those fundamentals? And by just about any metric, any stretch of the imagination, those do seem to be somewhat stretched, but you can explain it by strong profit margins and also strong earnings growth. The key thing is, will those persist? Because if they don't, if we get some signs that companies aren't able to pass on the price increases to consumers, if that earnings growth is beginning to slow, we could see those valuations come down. So we are fairly cautious as far as the outlook for the near term for the equity markets, just because of the level of where valuations are. But valuations are a horrible market timing tool. because they basically, will tell you there's more risk, more vulnerabilities, but it doesn't tell you that the market is necessarily primed to start to go down or primed to rally further from here. So a lot of that is going to be driven by sentiment. And as long as the earnings reports, which we're in the middle of earnings season here, as long as those keep rolling in better than expected, we think that there is some decent fundamental support for the markets.
Brian, this might be I guess I've never thought about this before, but as far as the strength of the economy, the growth of the economy, is it better for companies to largely be passing on the increase in tariffs to the price for the consumer, or for them to be eating some of the price? Like, what has the bigger adverse effect on the economy?
Well, as far as the economic output, I think that what we would really see is that if companies, if they are able to pass that on to consumers, it's really that key thing. Are they able to do that? They can try, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to see consumers continue to buy at the same pace, because oftentimes what happens is you increase the price, you reduce the quantity that's demanded for that. And so it really is going to be a function of the market, the product, the competitive landscape. When we see food items, for example, like, coffee prices, everybody kind of knows coffee prices have gone up. We have tariffs on them. There's also been some bad crop harvests. Consumers have cut back on consumption of coffee as a result. Now, that could now people maybe recalibrate where they think prices should be, and maybe do what I do, which is still buy as many cups of coffee as you typically do. But not everybody is as addicted to coffee as what I am. Now you look at other products where it's like consumer electronics, automobiles. That's where you can see more of the variability in the ability to pass on the price increases. We know that Japanese auto manufacturers, German auto manufacturers who have been shipping the products into the United States, being subject to the tariffs, they haven't been able to hike their prices like people who are buying food products. So it's very product dependent. It's those higher profit margin, higher ticket price items that they're probably less likely to be able to pass on those price increases. And then that means lower profits. Lower profits means less hiring and slower growth going forward.
Brian, I only got about 30 seconds left, and Brian Jacobson is the chief economist at Annex Wealth Management. For all those companies that imported all that stuff to sort of beat this problem, this growing problem of the tariffs, is that going to come to roost? Are we going to feel that pain at some point, or where are you at on that?
Well, I think we are going to see some discounting because they most likely misjudged exactly what it is consumers want to buy. And so I'm kind of holding out on some items to purchase because thinking, I'll buy last year's inventory item. I'm okay with that. Even if it's not the latest and greatest, I'll get that at a deeper discount. So we will begin to see that probably in the next couple of months. So I'm looking for some discounts here.
All right. Always great insights from Brian Jacobson, who is the chief economist at Annex Wealth Management. Thanks for your time today. Go get some coffee, Brian.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back. We're still at the State Fair. We'll be here all week at the Bank 59 studio. This is Point Taken.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Free from Milwaukee Weight Loss. I was just talking to one of my relatives yesterday. We had a family reunion, and she is also doing Milwaukee weight loss, and she has also lost 40 pounds just like me. I can't believe it sometimes, but my journey started in January. She's still ongoing with her journey. But here's the deal. If you're sick of the trendy stuff, the shots, the gimmicky stuff, the meals bar shakes, all of that, you want to lose the weight without the crazy? None of that stuff. Just real results that last, and I'm on this program for a year and beyond. Reset your metabolism, the weight comes off, and it stays off. Dr. Development Natural helps thousands of people, including me, lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. But then the more important part, you keep it off. You want to stop all that yo-yo stuff? Take control of your life. There's a smarter, faster, safer way to do it. It's Milwaukee Weight Loss. Do not wait. Call today. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com is another option, but call today. 262-393-2334. That's 262-393-2334. Schedule a consultation. Free consultation. See where you're at. see what they can offer, lose weight, feel better. That's Milwaukee Weight Loss.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Kristen and Steve live from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. A lot of
there's some crowns.
Royalty going by us at the Wisconsin State Fair.
5 crowns.
5 crowns, 5 sashes.
And they waved to us.
And they did wave, yes. I don't know what the royalty suggests, other than their
Alice in Dairyland. Alice in Dairyland wears a
sash
and a crown.
Yeah. And we'll probably have them on at some point, right? We mix in some of the fair excitement. We're gonna have Sherry Black on at some point, CEO of the fair.
You're in charge of that one.
I am in charge of that one. I saw her the other day. We were chatting it up. She was so busy on it. Was opening day.
Well.
And they had that big, dairy building opening. So she was a little tied up, but she said she'll try to get in here Monday or Tuesday. Monday's not going to happen because we have.
Well, because today's Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
We're over halfway through the show. We only have a half hour left.
Completely honest, I could have used an extra weekend day. I had a lot of stuff.
That is how most weekends go. That is the argument for a 4-day work week and a 3-day weekend. Yeah. And I am a strong, I would be very much in favor of that.
So where would you be at if I said, you know what, I'm an older worker. I'm a senior. Maybe I have a Friday, Monday add-on, but you still work the regular.
I'm the one with a toddler at home.
You do have a lot more.
You're the one who's starting a new podcast every other week.
I know.
You seem like you have plenty of time and energy.
I want to create an AI podcast, or technology. I think it'd be awesome. It's long overdue. What are we waiting for?
You want a separate podcast that's just
podcast
on AI topics?
Because right now I have to carve it all in or push it all into.
You don't think there's a lot of people doing that already?
But I'm the common man. See, I'm a man of the people, so I would bring a different perspective. Like
Steve on the street.
Steve on the street. Meat on the street.
Meat on a stick. We're just doing word association now?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do when you have 2 minutes to fill at the end of your first half hour of the second hour of your show. I think there's an appetite. Here's the problem. So I listen to a lot of the tech podcasts now. I listen to a lot of podcasts way more than I ever used to.
Do you listen at an increased speed so that you can get through more of them?
No, regular speed. I don't try to rush. I want to hear what they have to say. So whether it's a Neil deGrasse Tyson, Kara Swisher, Scott Galloway, who's brilliant, by the way. We need more Scott Galloways in the world.
Maybe we could get him to come on the show.
I reached out to Kara Swisher. I should probably reach out to Professor Scott Galloway because he's probably more attainable. She's like,
you think so? He's doing a lot all the time.
He's got like 3 podcasts.
He's got Raging Moderates, Pivot, and then I feel like he's a guest on everyone's podcast. That's why I feel like we might be able to get him, because I feel like I see him on other people's shows.
It's not just that, he does TV too.
A lot.
All over the place, guests everywhere. So I think there's an opening opportunity niche for someone who's like me, who maybe doesn't understand. That's why I'm trying to do so much reading on AI and technology, because I'm coming at it from a position where I'm not like utilizing it in the way that maybe young people do. So I want to provide a fresh perspective, and I think for seniors who are, I think they're open to this stuff, how they could maybe help their lives. I think there's an opening there.
What do you think the most useful? How have you used AI so far that has been a value add to your life?
Some suggestions on how to put the words into a topic that I want to talk about, or an idea on topics, sort of different ways to flesh it out.
So ChatGPT. Like, what's a prompt you've put into ChatGPT that you've been like, oh, I'm happy I used this.
How do I approach, then fill in the blank topic, and then they'll give you suggestions, which is actually pretty interesting, and it does give you fresh perspective, one that you're not thinking of, and I think for me that's the best use. But I'm on tip of the iceberg. I'm like nowhere near what I should be. I get it free. Like I want to actually be a subscriber to some AI service that actually gives me more than that.
So you're not just on Twitter being like, "Hey Grok, is this true?"
No,
on everything instead of just using community notes or hiring fact checkers.
Yeah. Again, I use Twitter on my terms, which people go, "What does that mean?" It's like I decide how I use it. If you're a troll, I'm blocking you instantly.
I have a new. Someone taught me this last week. Blocked and blessed.
Yeah.
Blocked and blessed.
Good luck to
I
you.
have no time for your shenanigans.
Yeah.
Get out of my inbox.
This is like the first time in a long time that producer Jazz has played the music to remind me that I need to stop talking at some point. I think I ever forget the Connie Weber piece and the fact that we're going to talk to or hear the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Texas state Democrats broke the quorum for a special session and an expected vote today as Republicans are trying to approve redrawn congressional maps that would give the GOP 5 seats ahead of the midterm elections. Jessica Husman, the editor-director of the nonprofit newsroom Vote Beat, outlines the potential impact of that redrawn map.
5 seats in Texas is a lot of seats. The balance of power in the House is 3 right now, so 5 would 5 additional Republican seats would be really important.
Some Texas Democrats traveled to Democratic-led states after leaving the Texas Capitol. Governor Greg Abbott vowing to remove Democrats from office if they don't return by a 3 p.m. local deadline. In Montana, the manhunt continuing for the Army veteran Michael Paul Brown, accused of killing 4 people Friday inside an Anaconda bar. Police say he's considered armed and dangerous. On Wall Street, investors are in a buying mood ahead of the global tariffs that kick in this week. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. Dangerous air lingers around across southeast Wisconsin once again today. That air quality alert has been extended now till noon Tuesday. Milwaukee's air quality is in the unhealthy category for all people groups as of this morning. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in less than 5 minutes. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has deactivated more than 192,000 voter registrations, part of a regular maintenance process required by law. Those deactivated had not voted in the past 4 years. Most didn't respond to a postcard asking if they wished to remain registered. Others were deactivated because the person was deceased or had moved away. Just under 10,000 Wisconsin voters who were mailed a notice asked to remain registered. Harley-Davidson has named their next president and CEO. Topgolf CEO Arthur Stars will replace Johan Zeitz October 1st. Milwaukee Business Journal reports Stars is the second consecutive Harley CEO who joins the company without experience in the motorcycle industry. Zeitz will remain a senior advisor to the company through next February. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow up 460 points, 44,049. NASDAQ up 363 at 21,013. S&P 500 up 79 at 6,317. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-41 north at North Avenue. Debris in the roadway. It looks like that has been cleared off. Still a lot of slowing on 84 eastbound Highway 16 to the Zoo interchange. Normally about a 10-minute drive. It's going to take you closer to 15. I-43 southbound slow from Brown Deer Road to downtown. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. That air quality alert extended till noon tomorrow. Lingering haze and smoke today. There will be some sunshine, a high of 78. Lingering smoke into the overnight hours. A high 66 lakeside, or rather low 66 lakeside, 60 inland. Sunny, warm, humid tomorrow, high of 80. Sunny Wednesday, high of 82. Thursday and Friday, sunshine, warm and humid conditions. High Thursday, 85. Friday's high, 88. 74 in Madison and Green Bay. 73 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent. St. Paul.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
All right, let me get all these mics going. I have no idea where Mayor Dan Devine is, but we'll turn them all on, and hopefully that won't screw us up. Kristen Bry, Steve Scafidi, we're broadcasting live from the Bank 59 studio, and a dignitary in the studio from the city of West Dallas. As I said, Mayor Dan Devine. Always great to see you, my friend.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Here's my first question.
All right.
What's your role at the fair, if you have one?
So,
because you're like the guy from this area.
It's almost like two part-time roles. One is as a member of the State Fair Park Board. There's an element of the relationships with the community and the perimeter of the fair and the neighborhoods around the fair. But then it's similar with being the mayor of the city outside of the park boundaries.
Stuff's happening around this fair every day.
Right. And we get, obviously, everyone knows they park cars on lawns in the neighborhoods around here. Some of the businesses try to draw in fair traffic as consumers, but that doesn't always work because most people are doing their drinking and eating in the fairgrounds, which you would expect. But it's a very unique kind of busy, and it's all over the place. It's not consistent.
Is it fun or is it stressful? Or both?
Yes. I think overall the fair is a very good thing for our city, but we do have a lot of people that get frustrated with the traffic patterns, just people when the fairgrounds close, walking through their yards on their way to the cars.
But do you have, to a certain extent, I have to feel like if you're someone who moves to West Dallas and you move close to the fairgrounds,
yes,
do you not know what you're signing up for? Isn't there a little bit of it's been here the grounds have been here probably a lot longer than you have.
That's true, and I think that maybe within a 2-block radius people think that, but sometimes when you get weather like this on a Saturday or a Sunday and a big headliner at the main stage, that perimeter, so to speak, broadens. It's kind of like dropping a pebble in the river or the stream, and it just expands, and that's when it gets to that extra layer of people that aren't used to being disrupted.
So as someone who used to do what you do now, I'll give you some love here because I drive this every day, and sometimes I even come on the weekends when I want to come to the fair with my wife or grandkids or whatever. It's pretty efficient how this is set up outside of the fairgrounds. I mean, you can't make left turns in some places or right turns. You can't make U-turns. That's all done with the intent of making it easier and safer to get around. And I've never really had a problem getting in or out of this fairgrounds. And I've parked on lawns in the past, and I've stopped at some of the local establishments.
Sure.
So it all seems to work. And that's both time and experience, but also leadership. You kind of figure it out after a point.
And we've got a very good rapport between our engineering department, our police department, and the fair police department and the fair leadership, and it's ongoing. And a lot of things here change every year, but a lot of things like you're talking about remain the same. So you get a good system down. People kind of learn how to get in, how to get out, where to park. A lot of people go to the same neighbors every year. They have ongoing relationships with these houses, and they text them in advance and set up their parking for the visits.
So at the end of the fair each year, is there a like a group meeting to kind of talk about what went well, what we could improve on for next year? Like, is there iterations that happen each year as far as, like you said, Public Works, the police, like everyone involved as far as putting on an event this big and how much it takes over the city?
Yeah, there's always kind of like post meetings where they go over any glaring errors or anything that went wrong. But all in all, things go pretty smooth.
Yeah. Mayor Dan Devine, City of West Allis, joining us in studio, Bank 59 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. And folks are saying hi, and I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and saying hi to us at the fair. And it's a gorgeous day. We've had some great weather so far. I guess before we go to break, as somebody who leads this city and sort of the host city for this great event, it's my favorite event of the year, favorite festival, or however you want to term it, fair. I think there's got to be some measure of economic impact. You talked about the difference between inside and outside. Do you guys, Kristen asked a question about, do you sit down with the neighbors and all those folks, but do you measure economic impact specifically for the fair run?
So I think our biggest economic impact is when people drive in and notice a restaurant or something that they didn't know was there, and then come back. Okay. I just get the sense I've heard a couple businesses along Greenfield Avenue actually close during the fair.
Really?
Just because there's not enough foot traffic, and then some people have newer businesses along that corridor have rushed to get open by the fair, and then they swing their doors open and everybody walks by because they're coming here. So there is a little bit of it's like an indirect benefit where you're coming in Greenfield, you see Crawdaddy's on Greenfield, and I've heard of that place. That's where that is. We should come back here. That's what I think is a lot of the impact and a lot of the benefit.
Yeah, we had to similar degrees some of that with the RNCs. You walked by some of those places that we all know very well, but they were not doing the business that maybe they thought they would. But ultimately, I think you nailed it there. It's the awareness that these things are here, whether it's Double B's or Crawdaddy's or any of the great restaurants.
Right.
You and I have talked many times before. That's my jealousy because he got the restaurants that many that we wanted.
Oh,
so that's a sort of a running. They have done. West Allis has done a tremendous job with the restaurants.
Our food scene has just been off the wall.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's just something I'm so excited about and proud of, and my wife tells me it doesn't count as a date if we go out in West Allis.
I don't know about that.
Because we always get stopped or talked to, and it's like always pleasant and it's always fun, but sometimes she just wants some, I don't know why, but she wants time with her husband. So.
What?
Yeah.
Even coffee shops, which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes,
You're going to stick around for one more segment?
Sure.
All right.
Happy to.
You got a busy day ahead of you at the fair?
Not really.
All right. Dan Devine, Mayor of West Allis. She's Chris and I'm Steve Point, taking 620 WTMJ, broadcasting live from the Bank 59 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair.
It's one of the hottest topics when it comes to finance and your money, the One Big Beautiful Bill. If you haven't read it, we don't blame you. It's 900 pages with 400 just for tax provisions. Not exactly light reading. You know who has read it? Annex Wealth Management. That's where Instant Insight webinars come in. They're designed to provide clarity for today's hot topics. Get up to speed fast. Check out the full Instant Insight schedule at annexwealth.com/events. Unbiased advice from a fee-only fiduciary. Find out more at annexwealth.com.
Hey, deal hunters, the shelves are loaded and our prices won't be beat at Fleet Farm. Get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic oil for just $21.99 after $5 rebate. Take 30% off all Eukanuba dog foods. And all Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X spray paints are buy one, get one 50% off. From pets to paints to pickups, let Fleet Farm help take care of all your day-to-day needs. Always at the best prices, guaranteed. And check out all our weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
Step right up and gaze into my crystal ball. I see flashing lights, spinning reels, and a big win. This August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival at Potawatomi. Play with your rewards card and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God.
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks. Evening and weekend hours are required. You'll make real money and always be busy. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
We are here in the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. I'm Kristen, he's Steve, and we are here with Mayor of West Allis, Dan Devine. But maybe embracing the term Stallis?
Lots been happening there.
Okay, let's hear more about that. Well, I guess for people who maybe are unfamiliar, what is the history of the term Stallis?
All right, so the history of the city of West Allis has been the nickname Stallis, which 30-plus years ago was frequently coined Dirty Stallis.
Yes.
And as West Allis has dramatically improved over the years and just brought in so many new businesses and cool things and just really become more of a destination, we started having a serious conversation about the term Stallis.
Okay.
And we had done some branding and marketing in 2018, 2019 with Savage Solutions. And
I know very well. They did our marketing and branding in 2013. I think we started with them.
Good company, great company.
Great company. Corey Savage, no,
So
great guy.
they focus on cities and municipalities and how to brand yourself and stand out?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we had, initially I didn't feel we had a lot to really highlight or brag about, but as we got more independent
Very
restaurants,
Midwest of
yeah, humble, yeah. But just we had breweries coming in, we had coffee shops, bakeries, restaurants, and all independent, unique things. And I hear more and more chatter from other friends in other communities and things saying that they're spending so much time in West Allis now because of the dining scene, and they're getting together with their friends. And as Beecher Street picked up, just some of the areas around the farmers market growing. And then the more we talked about it, it's really just time to own the term Stallis and not let a bunch of people on the internet define it. And most people that still stick to this Dirty Stallis either haven't been here in 15 years or just like to be, in my opinion, miserable about everything. So we talked about it, and the West Allis Cheese and Sausage Shop, for one example, has a Stallis stack sandwich on their menu. Station 6, which is a very cool cocktail lounge, kind of beer garden, has a Stallis cocktail. There's Oak Brewing has a Stallis Saison beer on their menu. So a lot of the businesses that are draws from the area are already using the term Stallis. I look at it like what Tosa was. People tell me years ago, people in Wauwatosa did not like the term Tosa, but now you don't even think twice about it, and I think that's where Stallis is going.
You know what I say to those folks? Get over it. Come on.
Yeah.
It's like it is what it is. Embrace it, and just like we did in Oak Creek, just like some other communities, Wauwatosa, Tosa, you have to embrace what you do well, and you do a lot of things well. I want to ask you about the development side of things. It's always challenging for suburbs of Milwaukee. We compete. We all go against each other. I know Franklin and Oak Creek compete, and you probably compete with some of the surrounding areas.
Mm-hmm.
On the development side, how are things looking as far as what you're hearing from people that are interested in coming into West Allis? The outreach from your agencies to the folks who may come in, how's that going?
So the market is hot in Stallis. It is really, we have a lot more people interested than we do properties to show to them or offer to them. We have a lot of restaurants that are looking here, but they just can't find kitchens. We have a lot of demand for the housing, like houses. Real estate's booming. The prices are up, just like everywhere. I mean, that's not unique to us, but it seems like, I would say years ago, people didn't really have West Allis on the top of their list when they were looking for a home, but now with it's still very affordable compared to some of our neighbors as far as finding that starter bungalow or the starter home. We have got a lot of apartments coming online, which, some people love, some people don't love, but they're filling up 95, 96% leased.
Well, I was driving in on, I think it's 68th with all that development along 68th.
Yes.
Yeah. It's impressive. And again, older cities, older suburbs can transform themselves, and maybe the Stalis marketing campaign is part of that story. I always appreciate your visits, and I have a lot of respect for what you do as a mayor. You're a full-time mayor, which is not a common thing in the suburbs of Milwaukee.
Right.
There's only a few of you. But you've embraced that role, and you've shown leadership in a way that I respect. So I always thank you for coming in and sharing the story. It's a great city, West Dallas.
It is.
Dallas.
It's on the up.
It's on the upswing.
Yes.
To use the name of an old show on 620 WTN.
Still a show on the weekends.
That's true. Jeff's got his weekend.
That's
right.
Yeah.
The Jeff Sherman Show.
All right, what's for lunch? Quickly.
Yeah.
So my son, I think we might have talked about this, but he's working here, so I just dropped him off at work, and we were kind of grazing on the way in. So I ate half of one of the blueberry breakfast brats. We shared that on the way in.
Recommend?
That's on our list.
It was good. It was good.
Right.
Yep. So I was kind of planning it on my walk back to City Hall, what I could get going that direction, but I parked in the parking lot that direction, so that totally threw me a curveball on my list.
There's no shortage of things to eat.
I will not starve.
Dan Devine, Mayor of West Dallas, appreciate you. We got to take a break here. The Bank 5 Non Studio is where we're at the Wisconsin State Fair, right across from the brand new Dairy Building. She's Chris and I'm Steve. We'll wrap the show and launch into the midday show with Jessica and Greg Matzek, who's back. Exciting stuff. All right, that's coming up next. Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to Kevin O'Connor from Yahoo Sports. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Tyson's Home Farm Auto is opening a brand new store in Ripon this fall. Tyson's is your go-to store for all things farm and home. Check us out at Tysons.com. That's THEISENS.com.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right. Only got 4 days left now. It's going by quickly.
Let's do another week. We'll just come out and hang.
Just came when no one's here to see how different the vibe is.
Yeah, when they're wrapping everything.
Figure out a way to jump the fence and get back on the grounds.
They'd probably, Sherry Black would probably let us. We got to get her on this. I got to get that scheduled.
This is your assignment post-show.
I know. I have to text her because, first of all, she's super busy. I mean,
yeah, it's like her biggest week of the year.
Well, she's the CEO of the fair, so I mean, I give her some grace, but she always makes at least one appearance. I know she's on the other shows, but I feel like with us it's special.
What other specific fair content do you want to either make on the show or after show this week?
All right,
we're going to eat some more food.
Yeah. So a special. I don't know if it's breaking news. So my grandson Max will join us on Friday's show with Bill and Joe.
Do you think he's going to have some hot takes?
He'll have some hot takes, maybe. Came off a spectacular performance in the All-Star game at the Rock in Franklin, so he's beaming. He won a good sport award, which I was very proud of him.
Yeah.
He caught a baseball and gave it to a 4-year-old kid.
That's great.
Isn't that awesome? So he got an award for it.
He was playing?
Yeah, he's playing in the All-Star game. Yeah.
And
but
then,
it was a whole weekend.
And then,
he was also a spectator in some of the other games.
Okay, so he caught while being a spectator, that's when he caught the ball and then gave it to
him. And they let the kid keep it. So he got an award for that. But he's going to join. He's never met Bill and Joe. So he's going to meet them. He's going to bring back his joke of the week.
Okay.
He may ask some, hot topic questions. And then, so
what do the 9-year-olds care about these days?
We're going to ask them.
All right.
That's your question.
That's my question. I already got it.
So content-wise, we always go down the big slide. So you're going to record that.
Okay, I'm on it.
We're going to probably eat some food, so you can get some of that stuff.
All right.
Just all Max on Friday. We have the governor coming Wednesday, which I'm excited about.
I'm also excited about that.
There's other special guests we have.
Jeremy Janine will be here.
Yeah, Jeremy,
he was off last week, so we got double the Milwaukee content from Jeremy Janine coming in studio on Thursday.
Let me tease this, too. So I do a WTMJ outdoor show, which is every Saturday from 2 to 3 on WTMJ, and it's just everything outdoors from biking to hunting and fishing, whatever it is. I'm doing a special State Fair edition. So I'm interviewing some folks at the DNR. I'm interviewing some people from the governor's auction on, I think, Wednesday. Fun stuff. We'll put that into Saturday's program. So you're going to help me with that as well as far as content.
And so we're going to be hanging out for the next hour after the show. Come by, say hi.
We'll be right out here, right outside the fishbowl. I'm actually going to clean the windows of the fishbowl before Jessica and... So
before? That's quite the time you're going to put
I got my stuff ready. I'm going to be out there cleaning it. Because look how dirty that window is.
Ask for a tip afterwards?
Yeah, we got to wrap it up. All right, so Jazz saying, get out of there. Jessica, Greg, news, all coming up right here. Bang 59 Studio, 620 WTMJ.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone.